But Michael wouldn't have done it.
Now, Prince wasn't doing no song with Michael Jackson. That was a very optimistic view that he would get down. At that point, between he's in Sign of the Times era, he's rolling.
Oh, the cool thing about playing on the title track, Bad, was I shared a solo with Jimmy Smith.
Used to keep
Jimmy Smith played on that. Jazz organist played on that. He was great.
That was the groove, you know. And then Jimmy did this organ solo on top of that, and here he comes.
Yeah. I love that. I love that sound, man.
And here I come after that. Watch out.
So goody good, man.
By 86 and 87, hip-hop is now becoming the dominant thread in a lot of aspects of American pop culture. And so Michael's responding to that to some degree with the Bad video and the imaging of Bad, but it's done in a Michael Jackson way.
The first step that was taken was to bring in Martin Scorsese. Martin Scorsese to direct the first video from the album. And Michael never called them videos. It was the first short film from the album.
You never hear him say, I'm doing music videos. I'm doing short films.
He wanted people not just to hear the music, but to see it.
We had a meeting with Quincy and with Michael in Los Angeles, and I found that really they were wide open to ideas. Nobody had ideas on what kind of story we could make up, or what kind of issue we can deal with. And so I suggested that I hire Richard Price, who just wrote Color and Money for me, to do the script.
I just thought Michael Jackson and Marty Scorsese, I mean, it's like, that's too bizarre for words. Absolutely, I will do it.
If it's to be anything, it's
that's too bizarre for words. I'll absolutely.
Before. And that means a dramatic piece. And it's something with a lot of style and a lot of grit to it.
I don't remember exactly who said this, but he said Michael wanted to make a video to show the brothers he's down. So he goes to the Italian asthmatic, he goes to the Jewish asthmatic, and we're gonna make Michael a homie.
We gave him these 3 ideas.
And Michael and I both loved the one called Pressure. That was the working title of this one. About peer pressure.
I had just read this article that a friend of mine, Robert Sam Anson, had written about Edmund Perry.
Within the hour, police revealed more information about the death of a young man from Harlem. He had graduated with honors from an exclusive New England prep school.
So,
Edmund Perry was killed by a police bullet on Morningside Drive.
They had read stories like this before.
This is interesting because it is another thing. You mentioned it in the comments. You said that the whole thing was like based on a true story, and this is where it stemmed from. This is the story. This is interesting. So in the short film, he comes home from a really fancy-dancy kind of school upstate, right? And he comes back to his home turf, and he sort of, he tries to get back with all the people he used to know, right? And they sort of don't gel anymore because he's sort of changed. But then he kind of comes out and he's like, yeah, I'm still bad. I've changed, but I ain't changed that much. But that is based on this real
bullet on Morningside
this real
Drive.
story.
They had read stories like this before. Too many of them. Black kid, 17, from Harlem, poor. With another black youth, tries to rob a white man who turns out to be a plainclothes cop.
Edmund Perry was a kid from Harlem. He and his brother, Jonah, had both gone to prep schools. So they were like, privileged, not privileged because they were exposed to privilege.
And this was a kid that was very much kind of dealing with what's becoming a more common kind of internal conflict among black kids who were put in isolated environments.
Listen, I want to say before you go, you did a real good job this term, man.
Thanks.
And are asked in that passage to let go of the culture that spawned it.
Yo, the back is back, my man.
And of course,
I just went off and I wrote
Wesley
this thing.
Snipes.
I wrote it in like 2 days. It was only 10 pages. And Marty thought it was great.
Oh, yeah.
he did ask me, he took me aside and said, do people live here? I said, oh, yeah, this is a good one. I said, you gotta, because we went to some others, and I was pretty, you know.
Was he scared?
A little bit, I think. For him, I thought it was a shock to see that.
Looks, I think you better go for a walk, man.
How did I get cast in this? Audition. You know, we all had to have an audition.
A lot of people.
There was quite a few guys. I don't know exactly how many.
Wesley came in. It was just
That's
there was
insane.
No, what could you? There's no. Yeah, there was no question.
And the guys I went in with.
He looks so young.
They all, you know, all approached the characters kind of b-boy-ish, you know, characteristic of b-boys, you know, with the yo man, yeah, this type of thing. And that's not my particular style, so I went the opposite direction of what they did. And I played it very, very subtle.
Yo, in college, what's your major, man?
This is high school. There ain't no majors.
Then what's your minor?
Wesley Snipes, his appearance in that video
What
was
was your minor?
probably
I love
one
that.
of the most notable acting debuts. And the fact that he made his mark known in a music video, everyone remembered Wesley Snipes after that moment.
Are you bad?
Are you bad?
Or is that what they teach you up at that little sissy school of yours? How to forget who your friends are? Well, let me tell you something. I don't care what they teach you up there. You either down or you ain't down.
And one of the things that I found was this piece of paper, which he wrote bad film on there, and it's titled Today's Motto. Let nothing be a take unless I'm extremely satisfied, unless I felt it in my soul.
You want to see who's
You
bad?
have to feel it in your soul.
You want to see who's bad? Come on. Come on, let's do it. Let's see who's bad, man. Come on. Come on, let's go.
All right, as we were putting the piece together and working on the choreography, it was towards the middle of it that they said we have a location. So they took us to Brooklyn to the Hoyt-Scribberhorn subway station. There is a place where the train is actually running under us.
Right. So this is real.
That's the place we went to. The first time we walked in there, we were with Martin Scorsese, Quincy Jones, myself and Michael.
Not a set.
And we're walking through there.
That's insane.
And Michael goes, wow, this is great. Yeah, it looks real. Look, there's even some pee stains over there. Wow, it's really nasty. Yeah, that's great.
Even if we catch him with the last 2 steps. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Oh, sure.
It looks nasty. I want this place, you know?
Come back and he's frozen again. It'd be great.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that got me, that did. There's some pee stains over there.
That move is like you in Taxi Driver.
Yeah, I like that. No.
All right, let's just go again. Same thing. Same thing.
Speak. 19 Kansas, take 5.
No tengo chango.
Run, Mucho! Run!
I mean, there was a moment there with the older man when he said, give me a quarter.
Give me a quarter.
No tengo chavo.
Run! Go! Run!
And the guy just, something happened. It sort of hurt his arm a little bit.
No, it's all right. It's all right. We're gonna take
Oh, no!
I promise you it won't happen.
No, please, do it in the same way. I mean, it has to be done in that way.
The only time Michael really became, I think, very, very concerned was at that moment where he begged me, please don't do another take on the guy.
Oh.
I didn't want to hurt anybody. I mean, really begged me. I said, no, all right. Except actually told her, no, please, I beg you. We were having him. It's true, we did have it, so.
Oh, that is so nice. You know, he didn't want to hurt him, you know? That's part of the scene. You're meant to grab him and say, get out of here, go, run, you know? That's what you're meant to do. But here's Michael being nice, being super nice, and he's like, I can't do that anymore, you know? Wow.
This is what I want to see. It's going to be like this.
Oh.
You can't touch me.
No, I don't.
You can't touch me.
Okay, so just run through the lines this way.
So that's the way it's going down? Huh? That's it? Well, you ain't down with us. You ain't bad. You ain't bad at all.
You ain't bad. I love that smile, man.
You know,
Like
Wesley's
a
talking to him,
genuine
and Wesley's got
smile.
this fierce kind of like profile and everything like that. And it's almost like I felt like, you know, scared for Michael, like he was gonna get eaten.
I was so happy to see Michael Jackson being tough. I was so happy to see him in what seemed like regular surroundings.
I think I was a little bit caught off guard because it was like Michael talking, you know what I mean? Michael sort of being very kind of like rough a little bit.
I don't know if he was trying to reaffirm his connection with the Black community or what he was trying to do, but it was successful.
It's one shot. Whatever's best for him.
Michael?
Whatever's
Yeah.
good for him. At this point, it's only one shot.
The thing is also when he drops down into it and everybody starts surrounding him.
Yeah, if we drop down in front of the three guys the opposite way, we sort of...
God, he's going up into the rafters like bloody Spider-Man right now.
What I didn't realize is that, you know, I have this like earnest, you know, social drama, and all of a sudden it's gonna end in this choreographed big song, you know, and it was like, huh?
It's like a bloody Spider-Man. That's clever, though. I was actually genuinely interested in how they did that because he just sort of drops out of nowhere, but now it makes sense. He's Spider-Man. He's up in the rafters, man. So smooth. I love this part.
I remember this, yeah.
The slow pan up. Wow.
Now, the thing is, oh, yeah, this is pretty much the, you know, what are you going to do, dance us to death, I think he says?
What, y'all gonna dance us to death? You gotta be kidding me.
He really does as well.
He probably was gonna dance him to death.
Yeah.
You ain't said nothing here.
You ain't down with us no more?
Raise up.
I think the bad moment, outfit-wise, was far more influential than Thriller moment. Like, Thriller moment might have been more iconic, but Bad was more influential. So I'm like almost dressed like that today.
I love that. I love
Each other and the pipe breaks.
You're right.
Everybody looks.
I love the belts and the, iconic, man.
We're gonna hold that a while.
It's fascinating to me.
Michael was very interested
how they put it together.
in incorporating body popping into his videos. So he feels like the dancers themselves know more about what we're doing. So he chose to use the street dancers to choreograph the videos with him.
I'm building you on count three. And throw your ducks, you let it beat. And hit those little things like boom, we do little moves in between those little up rhythms.
We would work with the dancers.
I
in the
love
daytime.
how he sort of he commands, doesn't he? It's like a aura around him, and he controls whatever he wants or needs. It's like you move like this, and you move like this, you know, and you do wah wah, right? And it's like he knows what he's talking about. He isn't just making it up. He's thought about this. It's choreographed, you know. It's in his head what he wants, and he's gonna do it. You know, I love that about
him.
him.
Helmsley Palace Hotel and work with Michael at night, and we'd be working till 2:30, 3 in the morning.
Wow.
You know, it would take turns creating different things, making different things happen, and then he'd get in there and he'd do his thing. I'd get in there.
He's doing all this in like
take turns doing that, but it wasn't like a dance off, like competing against each other, but like pushing each other, inspiring each other, and pushing each other to the next limit. So at first it was myself and Casper and Michael only. Then after I got a hold of Greg Berg, then Greg Berg started coming over to the rehearsals with us as well. And we were just gelling, just coming up with ideas. There was nothing constructed yet.
That's so interesting to me.
I know people made a lot of like, what's a chamon?
Chamon!
Yeah, yeah.
Chamon is basically his hat nod to Mavis Staples.
Chamon.
He could have went with James Brown and been like, look at here. or Marvin Gaye and I love the fact that he played that homage to one of the under-championed soul singers of her day.
Never even heard of it.
Michael has this scoop.
Very interesting, actually. I didn't know that it was about her. In fact, I probably did know. I think this was one of the another things that I read in a comment. I'm mentioning the comments a lot, but I do read all your comments. Love them. But, yeah, Shimon. Yeah, he says that in a lot of his songs. Shimon. Yeah, you know, he does that.
Where he's scooting forward. That's a Michael signature step. I said, Michael, that has never been done in a group before. Could you imagine if all of us were scooting across the camera like that? So now it's looking like a train just...
Yeah, I get it.
It's a group of us doing this. And it worked out beautifully.
It looked bad, man. It looked bad.
Were you familiar with the Michael Jackson grab the crotch?
No, I was not familiar with that at all.
It's all through, the whole piece.
The whole thing, it's all throughout, it's throughout. Within the moves, it's right. I mean, what can I say? The way he's moving.
But it was a surprise, all right?
Yes, it was, yeah.
It works. I never understand it, but it works.
He took what was formatted as a choreography and he learned it to the point where he could break out of it when he wanted to and get right back into it without skipping a beat.
Amazing ability.
Michael would just spin and snap out of it and grab himself. Hey!
Yeah.
We never knew any of this was going to happen.
Insane.
And that goes to show you his genius.
What makes one go out and mug a person? I mean, there's so much involved in a person who does that. Insecurities, frustration, resentment, all of these things.
What kind of person?
In one movement, I have them lifting the leg up with that feeling of wanting to fly, like we all want to do. We want to fly. And the next movement, it's just anger. And the next move, it's tenderness.
Michael's seen West Side Story. Michael knows Jerome Robbins' choreography. I mean, I know he does, because that's where that looked like it came from to me.
Greg, he contributed because he's a technical dancer. You know, he's jazz and stuff like that. So all the really West Side Story looking stuff is what Greg put in the piece.
I tried to keep some street stuff in it. You see those type of moves in there?
A lot of inspiration.
So crane down and
Yeah,
belly back?
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, no ceiling. I mean, the ceiling was low.
Tough conditions to work on.
There it is.
Oh, my God. I thought it was funny. It seemed like a good idea at the time. So my daughter, when she saw this, she said, Dad, you were in jail? I said, no.
It was my intention to make this dance
I
move
spotted that.
throughout this subway. I wanted things
I didn't
to
know who
move.
it was.
The big issue, of course, ultimately was for such a master at dancing, the concern is to show from head to toe. I had to try to convince him that I think if the camera moves could go together. It does come back at the end to a reality.
I love that entire thing. Was a bloody masterpiece. One of my favorite videos, even though it's not one of my favorite songs in a way, but it is definitely
And of course, it's all
one of my
summed up,
favorite videos.
which is an
of
interesting
his.
idea that Jackson came up with, was to do what he calls a breakdown, a breakdown which turned out to be pretty much in the tradition of a preacher giving a sermon. And we did that 3 cameras live.
And Michael goes, okay, I want you guys to just follow me. I think I had to be one of the only singers in the group because a lot of the guys were studying dance.
Oh my God, it was church, it was James Brown. If any place reaffirmed him, or if he was trying to reaffirm to people who he was and where his roots were, and the soulfulness that he has, and frankly, the blackness that he was, it's those last 30 seconds.
Sometimes he even lost us, you know. Get doing wrong, catch me that dinner. So guys,
Ad-lib. So cool, man. So cool, man.
And this is something
Smooth.
that he envisioned and he was feeling, and then finally got that.
Yeah. He's still bad.
There was a lot of talk at first of doing a different thing, of maybe everybody.
Whatever that was. It's not an ending.
Yo, it's cool, all right? I mean, ain't no hard feelings.
But that I said just doesn't seem to work. It just is the fellas have to more or less accept him, and he accepts them, and that they go their own way. That's it.
Last week, Michael
Is that
Jackson
it?
re-entered human history.
That was it. That was the alternate ending. They're just on a train, and it's like, are we cool? And it's like, yeah, we're cool.
To gladden mankind with his latest album, thus triggering a wave of media silliness and cross-promotion. CBS Television led off the Festival of Foolishness Monday night. It broadcast a half-hour special on Jackson and his new album.
I mean, when that video comes on Monday night, everybody's gonna be glued to the TV screen, and they're gonna be with their friends. They're gonna be saying, "Do you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that?"
It was before the age of the internet. I mean, the most that I could do was call somebody else's house that had three-way, who then called another friend that had three-way. Like 7 of us watched this short film on three-way in dead silence.
I was just transfixed in front of the TV.
We took all the
So was
documentary
I.
footage we could find on
Not in
Michael
front of TV, but
from the very early stages when he joined Motown Records. It ended with a video clip of him in London with hundreds of girls screaming and yelling.
I've seen this.
And
I've
we
seen
put this rumble
loads of
track
this
underneath
footage.
the screaming and yelling to really enhance it.
This is like this with the Beatles.
And Michael just loved this.
Oh, he ate it
this
up.
comment by this woman of comparing him to the Beatles. That he lit up when he saw that. He just
Wow.
turned to me from the chair and said, "I love it, Larry. I love it."
If you saw it, you witnessed one of the great bald-faced masterpieces
Do you know,
of promo-
I personally think, right, he surpassed the Beatles. Big thing to say, I know, but in my opinion, he surpassed them. And that he's here, right, and he's saying, I love to be compared to the Beatles. I love that. Wow. It's a humble
Emotional
guy,
hype
man.
in this hype-splattered decade. This video is sending out some very strange and mixed signals, social signals, that cry for some critical analysis in the media.
Wow.
Some people in the press got down on it because, first they're making fun of Michael Jackson, in it. And then some people got onto the note of, is this racist? Are you exploiting a tragedy for the sake of a music entertainment? Marty's in Morocco, Quincy Jones is in, on the red carpet somewhere, and I'm the idiot in Long Island that's getting all the calls.
No.
And I'm going, no, it's not racist. What are you talking about? Freaking out, like a good liberal.
There was a ballad that was released for the first track from Thriller, which was a duet with Paul McCartney. He duplicated that by doing a duet with Siedah Garrett.
25 years ago, I sat at this very spot and played this very piano to record I Just Can't Stop Loving You.